What happens when a fighter redefines what it means to be a champion in mixed martial arts? You get Israel Adesanya, a man who didn't just dominate the sport, but revolutionized it with his unique blend of flair, precision, and unstoppable confidence. Adesanya's story isn't just a tale of a skilled fighter, it's a saga of artistry, strategy, and sheer willpower that captivated the MMA world. This wasn't just about punching power or takedown defense. Adesanya brought something different to the cage, a calculated, creative approach paired with a personality that electrified fans worldwide. Dubbed the Last Stylebender, Adesanya blended striking mastery with an unparalleled ability to entertain, turning every fight into a spectacle. How did he climb the ranks to become one of the most dominant champions in UFC history? And what makes his story stand out in a sea of MMA legends? Let's dive into the journey of Israel Adesanya and explore how he became one of the greatest middleweights of all time. The rise of a future champion, born in Lagos, Nigeria, and raised in New Zealand, Adesanya's journey to MMA greatness was anything but conventional. Before ever stepping into the Octagon, Adesanya sharpened his skills as a kickboxer, compiling an astonishing record of 75 wins and only 5 losses. His striking was a symphony of precision and creativity, unpredictable yet devastatingly effective. But Adesanya wasn't satisfied with excelling in one combat sport. He wanted to conquer the world of MMA, where his dynamic striking and showmanship could truly shine. In 2012, he made his professional MMA debut, starting a journey that would eventually take him to the pinnacle of the sport. By the time he signed with the UFC in 2018, Adesanya was already turning heads with his unorthodox style and undeniable charisma. His nickname, the Last Stylebender, was a nod to his ability to seamlessly adapt and master any fighting discipline, a reference to the animated series Avatar, The Last Airbender. And when he entered the UFC, it was clear the middleweight division was about to get shaken up. Making his mark in the UFC, Adesanya's UFC debut against Rob Wilkinson at UFC 221 was a statement. He didn't just win, he dominated, earning a TKO victory in the second round and showing the world that a new star had arrived. But this was only the beginning. Adesanya's next few fights were a masterclass in striking, fight IQ, and showmanship. Wins over Marvin Vettori, Brad Tavares, and Derek Brunson solidified his status as a rising contender, with each performance marked by his flashy style and razor-sharp precision. Then came the fight that truly put him on the map, his clash with Anderson Silva, the former middleweight king, at UFC 234. It was a passing of the torch moment as the young lion faced off against the division's greatest legend. Adesanya won by unanimous decision, but the respect between the two fighters was mutual. This victory earned Adesanya a shot at UFC Gold, and when the opportunity came, he seized it in unforgettable fashion. The title reign and legacy. In October 2019, Adesanya faced Robert Whittaker for the undisputed middleweight title at UFC 243. The stage was massive. Marvel Stadium in Melbourne, Australia, with over 57,000 fans in attendance. Adesanya didn't just win, he delivered a striking clinic, knocking out Whittaker in the second round to become the middleweight champion. From that moment on, Adesanya ruled the division with an iron fist and an artistic touch. His reign featured dominant victories over top contenders like Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa, and Marvin Vettori. Each fight showcased his ability to control distance, anticipate his opponent's moves, and capitalize on openings with pinpoint accuracy. Perhaps one of his most memorable performances came against Paulo Costa at UFC 253. The fight was hyped as a clash of styles, Costa's relentless pressure against Adesanya's surgical striking. But when the cage door closed, Adesanya dismantled Costa with ease, finishing him in the second round and silencing any doubters. When beyond the cage, the persona of a star. Adesanya wasn't just a fighter, he was a cultural phenomenon. His elaborate walkouts, anime-inspired references, and unapologetic personality made him a fan favorite. Whether it was recreating Naruto poses during weigh-ins or delivering sharp-witted interviews, Adesanya had a flair for the dramatic that extended beyond his fights. But beneath the showmanship was a deep respect for martial arts. Adesanya often spoke about his love for combat sports as both a science and an art form, emphasizing the discipline and dedication required to compete at the highest level. Challenges and redemption. Even the greatest champions face setbacks, and Adesanya was no exception. In March 2021, he attempted to become a two-division champion by moving up to light heavyweight to challenge Jan Błachowicz for the title. It was a bold move, but Adesanya fell short, losing via unanimous decision. However, the loss didn't tarnish his legacy, it only fueled his hunger. He returned to the middleweight division and continued to dominate, proving that his reign at 185 pounds was far from over. An icon in the making. Israel Adesanya's story is still unfolding, but his impact on the sport of MMA is already undeniable. He's more than a champion. He's an innovator, a showman, and a role model for fighters worldwide. Whether it's his technical brilliance inside the cage or his charismatic persona outside of it, Adesanya has carved out a legacy that will stand the test of time. He's not just a fighter, he's a symbol of what's possible when skill, creativity, and determination collide. And as the MMA world watches his journey, one thing is certain. The story of the Last Stylebender is far from over.